And we are back at segment 2 of the Remax Magnolia Show with myself, Curtis Pope, and today James is here.
Hey.
Now, we were talking a bit earlier about some odds and ends and things like that, and we were kind of all over the map, but now we have something a little more focused and more real estate that you want to talk about.
Yeah.
You want to kind of go through kind of knowing what you got to know.
Sure. I mean, it all started when I wasn't sure... as a rookie real estate person, when you close something and when you actually get paid, it's quite far between those points. And so, you're thinking like, I'm not getting paid here. Like, am I doing it right? Am I doing things right? And then it wasn't until I actually checked my numbers and checked just how much how much work I had out there and how much I was going to collect from the things I've already closed that I realized that, you know what, I'm doing fantastic. Like, and so it made me think, like, knowing your numbers, it gave me this great sense of I am accomplishing something. Whereas if I was just working day by day and not thinking about that, I would think, oh, I'm doing terribly. And that sort of segued my brain into like, how can I use that to inspire others about knowing numbers in real estate? And so, because real estate is all about numbers translating into actual places to live or places to work, knowing your numbers is a really excellent thing to do. So, and what I mean about knowing your numbers is how much your house is worth that you're trying to sell. How much is the house worth that you're trying to buy? Those are two very simple numbers that we already know. But there are numbers in between there that can tell you, well, maybe I do need to charge a little more for my house, or maybe I need to get a little better deal on my house that I'm buying, because there are some numbers in between the sell price and the buy price that are going to change how much you can afford on your other end. And, these are things like lawyers' costs for doing all the transfer and conveyance of the property. This is going to cost you money. It's like the lawyers are not free, I don't think.
No, I haven't found one yet.
They haven't made one yet that's...
No,
okay, good.
No, as far as I've found, and same with notaries, they charge.
They actually charge money.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, that was very important. But anyway, and then like a property inspections, you're definitely going to want to get a property inspection every time you want to put an offer on a place, or after you put the offer on the place, because you just need to know what it's made of. And these things can cost money. There's appraisals fees. Land surveys. I mean, some people need this for specific, especially if you're going to buy a place where you're going to be working at the property. You're going to need surveys for that. GST, is it a new home that you're going to be buying? Do you have to pay GST on it? Your realtor's definitely going to know how much GST you're going to have to pay, because there's different steps to the payment of GST on new homes. But on a used home, you don't pay GST, which is fantastic. There's adjustment costs, and these are like when the person who owns the home now, maybe they've paid the property tax for the year, and then you come in halfway through. Well, you're going to have to pay them back for the property tax that they've already paid. That's called an adjustment. Mm-hmm. And then they can do that for property tax, even utility bills sometimes if they're paying for more than just month by month. And as well as rent paid, if you're paying, if they have a monthly renter that's paying, you're going to have to adjust that for when you take over. Insurances, you're going to need an insurance on the new place. You're going to need to be able to pay that right up front, because that insurance needs to be working within basically the day you take over that house.
That was one thing that I didn't quite realize and got done rather quickly. They were great with, but I've done that every home I've owned. I've transferred it to the new place, but it's just a matter of making sure you've got all the dates and everything lined up. And I didn't know about that the first time I moved and sold my house so much. Got under the wire, got it figured. This time, though, it was a simple phone call. Funny enough, my insurance is still through a place in Prince George.
Oh, yeah,
because
works.
They could just transfer it over. And I'm like, well, you guys do a good job. Why would I, bother? So
it's true. And your mortgage provider absolutely has to have you insure that.
Yes.
that house.
So it was a scary time the first time we moved.
Of course.
Second time it was really easy because you learn.
Yeah, exactly. And then your realtor helps you out with that. And usually you have a sheet that tells you these are the things that we anticipate you're going to have to pay money on. But there's things people don't think about, like locks. A lot of times you need to change your locks. You don't know who's got keys for your place. How much does it cost to retool all of your locks? Strata maintenance fees. This is, are they behind? I mean, your realtor definitely has forms which they can read that say, oh, well, the person that we're buying it from is actually 2 months behind on their strata fees. Maybe usually we have to get those cleared up during the conveyance of the property, but you always have to look, is this going to be something that I have to pay? And and then there's property transfer tax, and that's one that lots of people don't know much about. And how much property transfer tax do I have to pay? Do I pay property transfer tax? Let's say you're buying a mobile home, for instance. There is no property transfer tax on a mobile home, and so property transfer tax can sneak up on you because it can get expensive. I don't know if you remember anything about that with your places.
Yeah, no, it's a big number.
Yeah, it can depending on what you're buying, property transfer tax can get expensive. And so knowing these numbers going in will stop all of the stress downstream. So as a realtor, I like to, once people are really ready to put the offer in, we sit down with a sheet and we actually go through them line by line. This is what you're going to have to pay for this. And I've got calculators and special tools and technology to tell me exactly what you're going to need to pay, so that I can bring you what's called a net sheet and show you this net sheet so you can see exactly how much you're going to have to pay even before you get the place. Because a lot of people are like, oh, as the buyer, you don't have to pay anything. You just go, you pay for the house and the seller pays for it all.
Not the case.
Not the case. It's true. So you definitely have to get that net sheet. Make sure you have it in your brain what you have to pay, because we know that moving is so stressful. It can be anyway. So the last thing we want to do is have a $5,000 bill dropped on us and not know about it.
Yeah, you don't want any unexpected surprises. There's enough going on, and you can expect most of them if your realtor knows what they're doing. And the fact of the matter is, I know from dealing with the boss.
Bruce Springsteen?
That's right, Bruce Springsteen sold. And Bob the boss at Remax Magnolia.
Yes.
I know that there were no unexpected costs or things like that. She had it good. Everything lined up, knew what we were looking at.
I knew I learned from the best.
That's right, and she had it all there for us in front of us, so made things a lot easier in the long run.
I love that. That's awesome.
No, it worked out real well. So as we're heading into the weekend here, I suppose you may have an open house to talk about?
Well, being that it's Saturday.
Yeah, now that the weekend is on.
It is my pleasure to introduce the fact that I am doing an open house today. Just in a few short hours from now, I'm gonna jump out of here and go and set up for an open house in Mission. It's 32606 14th Avenue. In Mission. That starts at 1 o'clock this afternoon until 3 o'clock. I've got some snacks there, so if you're in Mission and you're hungry and you don't have a lot of change in your wallet, come on out to 32606 14th Avenue. We got a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, fully detached house right on 14th Street there with a gorgeous backyard. It's got fire pits. It's got a place to eat outside. It's got a covered barbecue lounge with TV. It's got a hot tub under the gazebo. It backs onto green space, so all you see is trees. Very private, lovely backyard, bright kitchen. This place is fantastic, and it's under $1 million. Come on out to 32606 14th Avenue, and come see me today. You'll love it.
Okay, and what about listings? What do you got listings-wise?
Well,
right
of course, I have that one, 32606 14th Avenue, but I also have one in Chilliwack. Now, this is just a little apartment right 2 blocks from the hospital, right near 1881 district, and it's Unit 109-9175 Mary Street. It's just a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, great for bachelor or a retired couple who want a quiet place to live near the hospital, right near downtown, walking distance to everything. So if you don't drive, this is your place. And then another one in Mission. This is a beautiful, bright 2-balcony condo right on a corner suite. So you get 2 balconies. Every room in the house, well, nearly every room in the house actually has a balcony exit. And that's Unit 203-33669 2nd Avenue in Mission. And come check that one out. That one's $488,000.
All right, so you've got a couple listings. You got open out. You're a busy guy.
I'm a busy guy. I just realized I'm a busy guy. I mean, I work until 1,000,000 o'clock every single day of the week. You would think that I'd be doing something good, and it wasn't until I checked my numbers and I realized, I'm doing great.
There you go. It's a good reminder to take a little inventory in yourself from time to time.
Take inventory in yourself and in your dealings. Know your numbers, no matter where you are.
Sounds good. Okay, well, if people want to see your listings and what you guys have at Remax Magnolia, where can they go?
They go to RemaxMagnoliaRealty.com
or
JamesMinchau.com, whichever you think is easier to spell.
Perfect. And join us again next week when we will talk real estate in order to unlock your real estate potential on a show where real estate is maximized. Thanks for listening.